Here's part 4 of our conversation with Andy Kim. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Canada.
When you changed your name to Baron Longfellow, your stage name, was that like a carte blanche, starting fresh? What was the reason for that?
Basically, I had a new manager. His name was Gordon Mills. Gordon Mills managed 3 artists before me. When he saw me, and I'm 6'2", and, you know, dark hair, and it's grayer now, but it's okay. But I had a certain look for him. So the first artist he manages was Tom Woodward. He changed his name to Tom Jones. The second artist was Jerry Dorsey, and he changed his name to Engelbert Humperdinck. And the third one was Raymond Sullivan, who became Gilbert O'Sullivan. So when he heard some of my songs, someone in a buddy of mine was a song plugger. I had written the song, and I'd always be making demos and stuff, and I didn't have a manager at the time. I didn't have a label. I didn't have anything. He loved a song that I wrote called Amor. He thought it could be, You Wanted to Meet Me, because he loved everything about the production. He loved all about, I was producing and doing all that stuff, you know, and so he met me. And he said, over a game of pool, he said, you know, you don't look like an Andy Kim. I said, but I am Andy Kim. He says, yeah, but you don't look like an Andy Kim. I said, well, that's just the way it is. You know, I've sold millions of records under Andy Kim. He said, yeah, but we'll change that. He says, you look like a Baron Longfellow. Well, that was the scariest moment of my life because I really wanted to work with him. He said, think about it. So I thought about it, and I asked, Jeff and Barry Mann and just a whole bunch of people that I knew. And it was like, well, you know what? If you were starting out, maybe that would be a cool idea, but you're Andy Kim. And at that time, this is 1980, at that time, nobody wanted, I went from having sold millions of records to having a little bit of a frozen period to Rock Me Gently, and everything kept shifting, and I wasn't one to shift with the moment. So I decided to try it. It was really funny because, Amor became a gold record in Canada, and all of that was up for a Juno, and people would say, and ladies and gentlemen, here's the new song by Baron Longfellow. We all know him as Andy Kim, so that went out the window. So that's the story. It was Gordon Mills, God rest his soul.
By the way, one more thing about Amor. That's a song that stopped me in my tracks. When I heard that song, first of all, I thought, is that a European song that somehow some Canadian is? There's an eternal, obviously via the title, hence the title, but that has this kind of eternal, true love song feel to it. How did you come up with that?
I will tell you, you want to hear the Juilliard version?
Sure.
I have no idea. I get to the guitar or keyboards, every day and see what the angels bring me. I just started writing that song. And obviously the first verse and chorus, here's the funny part. The funny part is that kind of a stickler when it comes to translation. And papillon is male, and I could not sing mon papillon. Every time I heard my vocal going, tu es ma vraie chanson, mon papillon, it just sounded wrong. So I changed the gender to ma, because I always thought butterfly is really female. In some circles it was called, some people call it, ma papillon. It's one of those songs that I sing a lot. My good friend Ron Sexsmith came to me one time. As a matter of fact, it was a year ago in Montreal. Just a very, very special show we were doing. It was a Christmas show as well, and we were at Place des Arts. And I don't know, it was like one of those nights where everything sounded great. Everybody sounded. It was like one of those incredible concerts. He came up to me and he said, "That's one hell of a song, man. That's one hell of a song." And to get it from Ron Sexsmith, who is our Canadian tunesmith,
Yeah.
that was like really just, it's cool after all these years,
Did you read spiritual books, religious books, or whatever you're plugged into? I mean, when did you start? Because you really are a deep man.
You know what? Here's the honest truth. I have no idea. I don't read. I don't, obviously I was a good altar boy. I was good in school. But the interesting thing is that I never think about what I'm going to say. I think about what I'm going to do if I'm inspired and believe in something. Because if I'm inspired and believe in something, it already exists. And since it already exists, I have to find my way to it.
Right.
It's not something that, my brothers stare at me and, wonder where it is that I came from. But it's okay, because I'm ready for the question. Were you the best you could have been? Did you find you? And so it's not from a book. It's just from some kind of a belief system that I was given, because God knows I ain't the most talented guy in the world. I'm not any of those things. I'm just, I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
I just know that I wanted to be part of the musical community. I wanted to be part of the artistic community, whether it's sculptors or painters or the flying Wallendas. I wanted to be there, not to be the king of it, just to be around it. And that's what I feel I've accomplished. I'm around great musicians like Michael and Jeff and Huey McCracken, who traveled with John Lennon. And John Lennon gave me my gold record by accident. My Rock Me Gently gold record was handed to me by John Lennon.
Really?
It's just the craziest times. But if you believe in something and you thank God every day, you have to find your way to the destination beyond what you think your destination is.
Yeah.
That's your responsibility. And then all these magical things happen to you. You don't affect them. You're a part of a moment. But it's what you think about all day long.
Yeah.
And ever since I was a kid, I was always writing things that I heard that inspired me. But I'm not really that smart. I just see the world the way I see it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I go to all the time, I heard it during a homily when I was an altar boy, and I remembered it really fast because it just kind of arrested my attention. God is always on time. God is always on time. Not your time, not my time, not someone else's time. And it freed me from the responsibility of saying, that should have been me, or that should have been this. I should have been this. I'm always been, every day of my life, I've been joyous with the fact that I am me. And you got to get there, because you're not going to feel the life that you deserve. That's what it is. And I think that I am not unusual. I'm what you and everyone else is. It's just that somehow or other, I got it early on.
If you had the opportunity to go back to that 16-year-old and knowing what you know now, would you even tell him anything, or would you let him play it out the way it's been played out?
I have no choice but every moment to be played out the way it's been played out, because the truth is, all the detours and all of that stuff, if you knew me, you'd know that I have basically no sense of direction. Every time I'd walk out of the Brill building, every day, I would turn the wrong way. And thank God that the streets on 49th and Broadway and 50th and Broadway, it's not a long walk. But instinctively, today you get Waze. It asks you two questions. It asks you, where are you and where are you going? And it needs a specific to take you there. If you give it an address and a zip code or area code, it'll get you to where you're going. But there are detours along the way. Well, that's not how you took me last time. Or that's not. There are detours, and there's an instinct in life about detours. But some people, they know where they are, and where they're going is kind of the general area. So you got to get to the general area before you can be specific. I happen to be lucky in that I was really specific. And when you're really specific, you actually get there.
Yeah.